And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Star versus the Forces of Evil. Star versus the Forces of Evil is great. Disney's just been on it with their shows lately. I mean, their animated shows, or their live action shows are just crap. The main character, Star, is just so likable because she's so random and wacky, and very different for a princess, especially at Disney standards. I would go so far as to call her my favorite Disney princess out of the entire lineup they have. What other princesses of Disney's that kick so much ass like Star? The humor of the show is just so random and wacky. You just never know what you're gonna get. And all the adult innuendos kind of help it a bit too. Which is very different for Disney. I mean, one joke involves something about distracting football players with booty shaking, with an example to actually follow. You would expect Disney to have some type of red flag against that, but I guess they realize the times are changing, so kudos to them. The sidekick Marco is very different from most sidekicks in animated shows. Most of the time, they'll just be a comic foil or always be a coward towards the main protagonist. But instead, they make him someone who is brave enough to be able to fight alongside the main protagonist, which is very different. The idea to just give him the ability to know karate really makes him stand out a lot better. That way, he's not just someone who gets in the hero's way, which is very refreshing when you really think about it. I like the idea that when Star starts in her new environment, she's not looked at as an outcast. Right off the bat, everyone seems to like her, except for one character by the name of Brittany Wong. She's supposed to be the bitch of the show, but who cares about her? We're talking about Star. Star's personality is so energetic, it's like she's on crank. And you see that many people like her because of that. Even though her magic powers sometimes can cause massive destruction, a lot of people just ignore it and really like her powers even. Some even going as far as asking Star to zap them and turn them into a pinata, for instance, in one episode, which is just random, which actually helps the show a lot. The random humor just means you never know what you're going to get with each episode. And that's very refreshing. Very refreshing. Because everyone likes her powers, there's no real major sense of consequence. I mean, one episode where she caused the destruction of someone's party bus. Really, it was Brittany Wong's party bus, so off the bat you don't care, but when the bus gets destroyed, all the kids that were on the bus are running out happy, and the enemies that were on the bus get hurt. The kids on the bus think that was the greatest party ever, and they don't care that the bus got destroyed. They're not even hurt. Only the bad guys were the ones that got hurt. But it just plays with your expectation. You would think all the kids on the bus would be pissed off at Star for destroying the bus, but they're actually happy. And that's just great for the show. Its randomness really plays with your expectations. Everything's always a surprise. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Phineas and Ferb. Well, Phineas and Ferb finally ended. It had a great run. Since it was running for about 8 years, I think now would be a good time to end it. And they did, of course. The final episode was pretty good. It ended on a pretty good note. They decided to make it so Doofenshmirtz decides to be good, which I think is right. Instead of being evil, he's just gonna go good, especially since his daughter ended up saying that the only reason he's evil is because it's just an obligation to his past, not inner evil. And I thought that was very clever. A very clever way of looking into his psyche. The songs were pretty good for it too. Especially the ending song. I like how it went through the whole past of Phineas and Ferb up until that point. Especially liked how they mentioned in the movie that Phineas got kissed by Isabella but forgot it. And she's just thinking, what? And Phineas is like, just wait 10 years. It was pretty funny. Pretty funny. I really commend how the creators decided to end the show after it's been on for 8 long years, only running for 4 seasons. But they thought it's time to end it because otherwise it's going to get stale. And that's actually very admirable for a lot of show creators to do that. I guess they knew we can't keep the joke of it's summer all the time for one show going for that long. So it's about right that they decided to end it, especially since they haven't had too many new episodes this year or even last year. So I guess they understood, yeah, it's time to end. They even said it themselves, they didn't want the show to get stale. These characters were very likable and very memorable, so it is sad to have to see them go. But it is better that they end on a high note, end while they're on top, versus ending after everyone's already like, please end this show. Creators have already said they're working on a new show, but that won't be out for about 2 years. But I'm already looking forward to it. They've done a lot of great work, so I'm expecting it to be good. Phineas and Ferb was kind of a diamond in the rough for animation when it came out. It was around the time Cartoon Network started to go into a low area, and there weren't that many good animated shows out. Phineas and Ferb was just about the only good animated show to watch at the time until Disney got it together and so did Cartoon Network. The show was just the only real good animated show for a few years. It was the only thing that kept you interested in animation for a while. Until new shows started coming out, but you'd still watch it. You'd still watch it even after new shows started coming out because it was still good. It was still a good show to watch. The characters were all likable, some even being satires of stereotypes in cartoons. And they were still their own characters and enjoyable, and you'd still want to continue watching them, and I appreciate that. Phineas and Ferb was a good part of middle school and high school for me, so seeing them go, it is sad, but I appreciate how it stuck around for so long and was a good part of my life. So I say thank you, Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh, for making such great, memorable characters. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, the new Gravity Falls episode, A Tale of Two Stands. Well, that episode was weird. That's that's probably the best way to describe it. Just a little weird, and it was good, definitely good. But man, I'll tell you now, I was a little surprised at the fact that Stanford isn't Stanford. Turns out Grunkle Stan is actually Stanley. Like, wow, that's just wow. Just took his own brother's identity. I mean, that's a pretty good surprise and a good way to start off the whole new episode. So I give him that. I gotta say though, their father kind of pisses me off because, I mean, you throw your own child out because he screwed up your one opportunity to be able to get out of New Jersey. Man, you should have been the one to be able to get your family out of New Jersey. Come on, man. It's pretty fucked up. I liked how it's set up that they were really good friends and brothers, full on, through their childhood. I do like that. Like, they were the only ones that had each other's back. I like how for Fiddleford they kind of played with it. Like he was making personal computers, and all because of Stanford, he now lost that. He just lost out. He missed out because he could have had an empire by then if he continued to make personal computers. Considering, I like that. I do. Practically saying it's all Stanford's fault that Fiddleford is the way he is. It's all Stanford's fault. I like that. It was good. I also like how they set up that Grunkle Stan did everything he did for the sake of trying to get his brother back. And it is kind of dumb that his brother didn't thank him for it. I mean, come on. He tried his best to get you back. And to be honest, it kind of was your fault the portal was even open. It was your fault you called him just to tell him go away and hide this thing. Like, you haven't seen him in so long and you decide you need to go away and hide something for me. That's pretty fucked up if you think about it. All in all, it was a really, really good episode. I even liked how it was commercial free the whole entire time. So you're just getting the whole story. I like that. Now it's just to wonder what's next. Especially with the way it ended. I mean, Mabel just wants to know, will her and her brother turn out like the two Stans? I mean, Dipper doesn't believe that's gonna happen, but Mabel, they just end on her looking worried. It's like, oof, that's that's just ominous. That's very ominous. Wondering what's about to happen in the future. But that's just a thought.
And now, a thought from Mann.
Today's subject: We Bear Bears. Well, We Bear Bears premiered. I gotta say, I thought this would be a horrible series, or more or less, I just wasn't that interested in it. But as I kept seeing more promos, it started to look a little more interesting. I wasn't really expecting it to be overtly funny, but it's funny enough, so I could definitely see myself watching this and just watching it just to watch it. I do like the three bears. I like how Grizzly, he's a bit more in your face and a bit more aggressive towards what he wants to do. Not aggressive in the sense of being mean, but usually more pushy and trying to get his brothers to do something. I like how Panda is a bit more timid and more to himself. I like that. And Ice Bear is just a mystery. He might be the funniest out of all of them. I mean, I think it's good how they reflect the type of bears they are. Like their personalities reflect what type of bears they are. I also kind of like how the show is in that vein of it's Three Stooges and Ed, and Eddie, while not exactly being Three Stooges or Ed, and Eddie. It is mainly just three guys who just go through life. It's mainly just them just doing whatever they can to just entertain themselves. It's pretty enjoyable. It gets some good, decent laughs out of me. First episode was a little funny because they play basketball and they're pretty horrible at it. But before they play basketball, they put some stuff in a backpack, and the backpack gets stolen. And the episode's just them trying to find out who stole their backpack. And it gets a little funny with how they go about it. They would draw pictures of who stole their book bag, but sadly, they never saw who stole it, so There's no point to it. No one knows who stole it, so they go around showing people pictures, but ultimately no one knows what the hell they're even who they're looking for because this guy doesn't look like a person. It just looks like someone they just randomly drew. They ultimately remember they can track the phone they left in the bag, which leads them to an apartment complex, and they see a guy who has the same color bag as they had. So they go up the fire escape, go into his apartment, and he's just sitting there watching television with the bag on the couch. And the bears sneak up to get the bag, but as they're about to get the bag, they end up getting sucked into the television. And then hijinks completely ensue. And next thing you know, they're outside on like the molding of the building. And someone apparently called the cops because, I mean, it's suspicious as shit someone's going up the fire escape. So the cops show up and tell them to jump, they have nowhere else to run. They jump, but somehow the fucking net bounced them into another building where they find a whole smorgasbord of pigeons that apparently were stealing things, including their bag. So they get their stuff back. The pigeons that have been stealing stuff, they end up getting arrested. And practically the day is saved. The bears get their stuff back. All in all, it's a good show. So I'll definitely keep up with it. The three bears dynamics are pretty unique, and I do like how they are. Especially Ice Bear. I really want to know what is up with Ice Bear. He's just he might be the funniest one out of all of them. But that's just a thought.
And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, the new Aaalvin and the Chipmunks.
I have to say, the new Aaalvin and the Chipmunks series is pretty good. I wasn't very excited about it. I was a little, but when I started seeing some episodes, I thought, yeah, this is nice. This is good. This is a good show. The main thing that helps make this show more distinguished from the original TV series is it has original songs. Instead of just being covers but done in a chipmunk voice, it's actually original songs. And that works better to its advantage. In fact, it's a lot better than the movies. I mean, with original songs, now it's like this doesn't sound like I'm just hearing the chipmunk version of a song that already exists. This is how it's supposed to sound all the time. And some of them are good enough to say, yeah, I might want to get that on my iPod or iPhone, either one. Aaalvin and his brothers Simon and Theodore, I mean, they're not very different than what you've already seen. They're just about the way you remember them. Aaalvin being the too cool for school guy, always getting into trouble. Simon being the nerd, the smart guy, and Theodore just being the kind of lovable dork, I guess. But they did do better with the Chipettes, because now they're actually more distinguishable from the Chipmunks. Brittany still being a bit more a fashionista or obsessed with pink or a bit more the girly type, but not always being the I'm too cool for this and that. They have at least one episode where she tries to act like she's better than one of her sisters just because she wants to have a good reputation. But it's more for she learns a lesson by the end, so it works in that sense. Brittany's more opposite Aaalvin. She doesn't act that much like Aaalvin, so that's nice. That works a lot better than just seeing Aaalvin going against Aaalvin, but in girl form. They still have their basic rivalries here and there, but it's usually not in the sense of boy versus girl. It's usually just a kind of clash of the egos sense. Jeanette is more of a ditz. She doesn't seem as smart as Simon, but that's not to say she's stupid. She's more in the clouds in a sense. She acts more like the odd man out in a sense that she's just so different from her sisters that her sisters, they're not dismissive of her, but they're just like, something's just a little off about you. Eleanor seems more like the motherly type. She seems more like a leader this time around. Whenever her sisters, or mainly Brittany, gets out of place and does something that's wrong, Eleanor's more the one to scold her. Hell, sometimes she even scolds the Chipmunks when they do something stupid. She's a lot more responsible this time around, and I think that works better. You need someone to be the more rounded person out of all 6 characters. And for the boys, that's Simon. For the girls, now that's Eleanor. So this time the characters are a lot better than from the old 80s series. Dave is Dave. They didn't do nothing to change him. He's still your typical guy. Nice guy, raising kids. I don't really have any gripes with it. It's a good show. It does better than the movies, especially in the sense of original songs and the fact that it's animated and not live action. Thank goodness for that. The major differences, like I said, are the characters, and the animation is now done in 3D, which is fine. It's also the same company that animated Sonic Boom, and it looks fine. It looks nice. Another difference is this time around, the Chipmunks and the Chipettes are the size of Chipmunks and Chipettes. That's one thing it actually retained from the movies. Instead of in the old series where they were the size of actual kids, now they're the actual size of Chipmunks. And that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It still works in a sense. Like, they'll have certain parts in the house where it's Chipmunk size. And it just works fine enough. All in all, this is a great series. It's better that it's a TV series than it is a movie series. And also another thing is they're not that famous. People know who they are, they're aware of them, but they don't treat them like they're big pop stars. They're treated like everyday kids. It's one episode where Simon even gets bullied. If anything, I do have one small gripe, is that sometimes the show can feel a little rushed when it gets to the end of the episode. Like, sometimes a moral lesson is to be learned, but they kind of brush through it a little too fast. But that's only in like 1 or 2 episodes. All in all, this is a great series. But that's just a thought.
And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Pickle and Peanut.
Can I just know, what the hell is this?
Why don't you, show him your moves, Greg? Woo! Come on, get it! Make it bounce!
I mean, Disney, what happened? Why are you deciding to try to make your own regular show? Because that's what this is. It's just regular show, but with a pickle and a peanut. I mean, with the second you heard the name, you should have realized this is a dumb idea. I mean, this show is just, it's too stupid for itself. Everything that happens in it is just pure randomness for the sake of randomness. There's no segue into it. There's no lead into it, nothing. Everything just happens for the sake of happening. For instance, the main characters. It's a pickle and a peanut. I don't know where you got the idea that a pickle and a peanut would make a good duo. It's too random and it makes no sense. And the world around them really doesn't make any sense.
everyone around them is basically human. So, I mean, I know you're trying to have your own regular show, but that's the thing. We already have a regular show. You're now the first to do it, third to be honest, because Nickelodeon tried this with Breadwinners and it was a terrible show. You have your main character shouting random catchphrases for the sake of random catchphrases. You're just trying to rip off regular show. The two main characters are just slackers and idiots, and you don't have anyone to help offset that. You don't have someone who the audience can cling to and say, oh, that's the voice of reason to all this insanity. And you really need that. It's very important to have that. And even regular show got that right. The animation for it is pretty weak. I mean, come on. This just looks disgusting. It doesn't look pleasant to look at. The character models look just wrong. It's Disney trying way too hard to be weird and crazy, to have their own weird and wacky crazy show with no sense or logic to it. And it's like, Disney, you don't need to try to do that. It's just not smart to do that in this day and age. The two main leads will do some type of gloat after they've won a type of battle or just succeeded in doing what they wanted to do. And it just reminds you so much of regular show. I mean, seriously.
Get that, back it up. Get that, back it up.
Oh, not setting up the chairs next time. Not setting up the chairs next time.
I mean, I guess I get it. For every good show, we gotta have one bad show to help keep it in balance. But in this day and age, in 2015, I feel like we can just keep getting good shows after good shows after good shows. I don't see why we have to start getting some bad shows to offset the good. All you have to do is just make good shows. I mean, we shouldn't be having jokes like this.
Yoga pants, yoga pants, yoga pants.
Face, foot face. You have a foot face.
Primo core special. Kitty lip.
In today's shows anymore, they're dumb. We realize these are dumb jokes. So let's not do them anymore. They're not funny. No one's laughing. They look stupid. Disney, I just hope you realize mediocrity just is not something we want to settle for anymore. We want excellence. We need excellence. You have a lot of great shows. Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Penn Zero, Part-Time Hero, Gravity Falls, your highest rated show. I don't know why you think you need to settle anymore. You don't, okay? It's just not fun for anyone when you put little or no effort into your shows. It's not. It's 2015. We're not gonna accept mediocrity from anyone anymore. And we don't plan on accepting mediocrity anytime soon. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Penn Zero Part-Time Hero. You know, Penn Zero is really underrated. I mean, this has got to be one of Disney's funniest shows on right now. I don't get why so many people are unaware of it. I mean, it's funny. It's legitimately funny. The way they execute their jokes, it's so well done. You're just feeling good that you watched this show. So I don't get why it's so under the radar.
Today, Mega Supertropolis. Tomorrow, the world.
The entire world. By tomorrow.
I'd give myself at least a week. It took that long just to remodel my kitchen, Larry. And I was working on that thing 24/7. Larry, everyone was like, where'd you find the appliances? And I said, aisle 7. And they said, put them back and stop pretending you live here. You're scaring the customers.
I can read your mind. I'm getting all this twice.
I mean, Disney really should advertise the show a lot more. It is very underrated. It needs more attention. The characters are great. They're memorable even. I feel like these are memorable characters. Ones that I can remember after the show's ended.
Hey, Saj, are you eating bugs out of my hair?
Yes, I am. Because I am me. And today, that's a monkey. Get back in my mouth!
Penn is the leader of the group, and he's your typical stand-up guy. He knows right from wrong, but he can also be the reason his team fails.
This is all my fault.
No, it's not.
I know. It's Boone's. Totally Boone's. I just thought I'd sound like a jerk if I said it out loud, but since you agree with me, it's totally okay to talk about him behind his back. Which is what I would say if he wasn't my friend, which he is, and that was the test and you just passed. So congrats on passing.
Look, you want the truth, PZ. Your problem with Boone isn't that he does things wrong. It's that he doesn't do things the way that you would do them. But he's not supposed to. Boone is Boone. That's who he is.
The writers know Penn can't be the perfect guy. They know he can be able to mess up the team. But they also show off a sense of versatility with Penn. He's able to adapt to a new situation, even when it starts going against whatever he expected something to be.
I really screwed up this time. I was so focused on finding you guys that I destroyed a whole planet. It's not very heroic.
Heroes screw up all the time. I once accidentally blew up Egg City. You can imagine how long that took to put back together.
The point is, when you mess up, you fix it. No one can fire you from being a hero.
We share the last name Zero because we failed 0 missions. Do you want to be known as Penn 1?
No, that sounds awful. Like a terrible diet sports drink.
Well, then you have to ask yourself, what are you prepared to do?
Whatever it takes.
That helps give a great uniqueness to him as a character and makes him more memorable. And he's even willing to help his friends when they start to mess up.
Boone, look, I shouldn't have wished you away. Not only did you make an anchor, but you're also the anchor of this team. You know, you're dense and you weigh us down, but you also hold us steady.
His friends are really great too, and memorable as well. Boone, he's a bit of a slacker, but he knows to take his job seriously when he needs to. He knows I can't abandon my friends just because I don't want to do it.
Prepare for annihilation in approximately 10 seconds.
Oh man, I am not the hero. I don't know how to handle these stressful situations. I'm the fun-loving, good-looking, cool guy. What would Penn tell me to do?
Boone, find the hero that lives deep in your chest, or maybe your stomach, and then be that hero.
You are very wise, imaginary Penn.
Even if he'd rather not do the job, he still comes through by the end. Or sometimes he can just be a coward about something, but he'll push through his cowardice and help his friends or save them in the end. Sashi, she's a bit of a nut in the sense that she's crazy in how she does everything, but she's also very determined to prove her worth. And she always proves how worthy she is to be a part of Penn's crew. She might take things a little too far, but that shows how determined she is to prove she is worthy of being Penn's friend and sidekick. Granted, sometimes her determination can go a little too far, even for just personal reasons.
I can check the specs! Oh, glasses! Do your thing!
Teddy.
Whoa, these things must record everything she sees. Ew.
I heart Teddy.
Excuse me, are you following me?
I do not love you.
Oh.
Rippon's a great villain because sometimes his motivation is just he wants to prove himself. Granted, when he fails, it's usually because he was a little too confident in his own plans or himself that it equals his downfall. But it also shows a great dynamic to him. He's a guy who wants to prove himself to himself. And sometimes you even sympathize with him. Hell, even Penn can sympathize with him. And that just shows a great dynamic of a villain. Larry is just a nut. I mean, he may be one of the funniest characters in the show, because he is just funny, and he's a perfect foil for Rippon, even though that's his sidekick.
Larry, did you paint a smiley face on my capsule?
No.
Do you like it?
Larry's not the guy who wants to be a bad guy. He seems like a good guy, but he's helping the bad guy. But usually he could also be a reason why the bad guy fails as well. The main goal of this show is a pretty unique one. It's usually a world is collapsing somewhere in another dimension, and Penn and his friends must go and help that dimension by jumping in and becoming the character that was supposed to save that dimension. And Rippon's job is to mainly be the guy that's supposed to destroy that dimension or make that dimension fall in some way. But the uniqueness of it is the dimensions they go to are usually spoofs of film genres or TV shows, or hell, one time they even spoofed cereal commercials. And it's very funny and unique how they do it.
I'm Choco Chuck! Oh, Choco Trunks is my all-time favorite cereal. Choco Trunks are Choco Trunkalicious!
The writers were able to make this a very timeless show, something that you could always rewatch after it's canceled, and it won't feel dated. It's its own thing. It's a timeless show, and that's just very refreshing. Even when they're doing a spoof of movies, they know to spoof the genre and not the film. Because if they did that, then it might not be as timeless anymore. And that just brings a great uniqueness to this show.
Fear not! We come in peace! Oh, we are totally willing to do chores to pay for a new city hall. If you have something you want stepped on, we seem to be really good at that, so put that on the list. Okay, that one was not my fault. That's just bad city planning. I mean, why do you have a TNT museum? You humans are crazy. I mean, just nuts.
All in all, this is a very well-made show. One of Disney's best, and they should advertise this a lot better than they do. It's very underrated and not much attention is brought to it. It's unique, it's funny, the characters are great and memorable. Come on, Disney, advertise this more. It needs more attention. It's definitely up there with one of your best in recent years. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Wabbit, a Looney Tunes production. You know, the new Looney Tunes show, Wabbit, it's really good. I really gotta say that. It's a really good show. It's a very nice return to form for the Looney Tunes. It's in the original short format style of like 5-6 minutes tops. And it's a major return to form, using physical violence to overcome certain adversaries.
Ah! The dragon! Quick! Before he gets away! He went into that cave!
Prepare to be slain, dragon!
It still sticks to the traditional Looney Tunes style of the good guy is faced with a bad guy who just got in the good guy's way in some way or form. And that's just a nice callback, a really nice callback to how the Looney Tunes work. I do kind of wonder, how come they canceled Looney Tunes show? I think they probably explained that they only wanted to do just 2 seasons for this show, so it won't feel like it's starting to get stale, and that's admirable if that is the case. But it does kind of make you wonder, why cancel it? It was a nice show. It really was a good show. It put the Looney Tunes in more of a different perspective. But it did change how people perceive the Looney Tunes, which isn't bad. It's good. It was a good show. But it wasn't exactly the Looney Tunes verbatim. But hey, it was still a good show. It really was. Just something to wonder about. I find it kind of odd that they decided to redesign some of the characters. Like, for Sam, they kind of made him a bit fat. He's still a stubby looking dude, but he's now chubby as well.
Whoa! I told them that cell couldn't hold me, and 20 years later I'm right. Woohoo! I'm free! I'm free! I'm broke.
I mean, I guess that makes him more of an understandable foil since he's short and fat, too. So, yeah, I guess that works. Wile E. Coyote basically looks the same. Nothing really changed about him.
Trouble, neighbor?
Oh, hey. No trouble. Just a little yard work.
So that's what you're calling it. How prehistoric.
And they really didn't do anything to Bugs. He basically looks like Bugs Bunny. When you see him, you'll say, yeah, that's Bugs Bunny. So, redesigns are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It is kind of weird that this Looney Tunes production is more about just Bugs than it is like Daffy or Porky or anyone else. The first adversary Bugs goes up against is Yosemite Sam. You would think it'd probably be Elmer Fudd hunting him or something. But nah, it's just Yosemite Sam either robbing a bank or committing some type of felony, and Bugs just kind of got caught in the middle and decides, well, I better stop him before he actually harms someone. And that's fine and all, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's funny. I'm just hoping that we see more Looney Tunes show up. So far we've just seen Yosemite Sam and Wile E. Coyote. Hoping we see Daffy and Porky and Sylvester and Tweety and whatnot. They decided to add 2 new characters to the lineup. One called Bigfoot, who's just a full-blown idiot. Like, he is a major foil to Bugs, who's just trying to relax.
We gotta get out of here.
I can do that.
Wait!
Sorry, lady. I was trying to catapult you over to that ridge. I'll throw you instead. Up.
No!
Fastball coming! I can try kicking you up there. How about I try my left hand?
How about you
go?
Or just doesn't want to be bothered with, but now he has to deal with this guy. And it's funny enough, Bigfoot's a likable enough character. He's a full-blown dumbass, but he's likable. Then there's also Squeaks, who doesn't talk. He mainly just makes squirrel noises, but he does have a lot of character to him. Just seeing how he acts, you kind of get a bit of his personality. Even though he doesn't talk, you can get a sense of what he's like. And that's nice, that's fine. He's more of a sidekick to Bugs. He hangs out with Bugs, he'll help Bugs, foil some guy who's just being a jerk. And that's nice and all, there's nothing wrong with that. But he can be sort of a jerk himself whenever Bugs might tell him something he might not like.
Would you mind cracking those someplace else? I'm trying to read.
Although this seemed like an unnecessary thing for Looney Tunes, but it actually proved that it's a very welcome return to form. It is something we've been waiting for, a more modernized version of the Looney Tunes, without having to give them shit like iPhones or new computers or a new gaming console or talk about famous celebrities. It feels more like a normal, timeless show that you can watch 10 years down the line. And that's just something we've been waiting for when it comes to Looney Tunes. Even though Looney Tunes show was a great show, this one is a really welcome return to form to how the Looney Tunes were. And it's something that we very much needed. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject: be cool, Scooby-Doo. You know, I really wanted to hate this show. I truly wanted to hate this show. I mean, just the name of it suggested I was gonna hate this show. But after watching the first episode, I can honestly say it's good. I mean it. It's a good show. It's funny. It's enjoyable. It seems a bit more timeless in how it does everything. So, yeah, it's a good show.
Look, I think that's pretty obvious.
Which is honestly a surprise. I mean, with the name Be Cool Scooby-Doo, that just kind of screams, oh, they're gonna try to make Scooby a cool guy or something, aren't they? But no, it's just a bad title, I'll be honest. But the show is actually pretty funny. It's kind of funnier than, you know, the actual movies that keep coming out. And to be honest, that was what deterred me from this series. Because so many adaptions and iterations kept coming out, I just kept saying, maybe it's time to put the dog to sleep. But it holds up. It actually holds up. It is kind of odd that they redesigned the characters. And when I first saw them, I thought, this doesn't look very good. But the designs actually grow on you. It works for what they're trying to pull off with this show. The comedy, it's very reminiscent of Phineas and Ferb. And to be honest, it's not surprising since people who've previously worked on Phineas and Ferb are working on this series.
Light it up! Let's move.
Producer is Zach Moncrief, who also worked on Brickleberry, so some of that humor is also kind of here, except it's, you know, not stupid, gross, random humor. Granted, it can be random at times, but it still works a lot better here because the segues seem a lot more connected than Brickleberry. So, yeah, the humor, it's nice and funny. It's very nice and funny than most other adaptations that I've seen from Scooby-Doo. One thing that could kill this series is if you have random guest appearances of celebrities that no one cares about or just don't make sense to pair up. I mean, for God's sake, we already had Scooby-Doo meets Kiss, of all people. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they wanted to do. The personalities seem a little different, mainly for, I guess, Velma and Daphne. Velma's still the smart one out of everyone, but she seems a bit more nervous around her friends.
Dean Longfellow?
Yes? Who are you?
I'm Velma Dinkley. I have an interview scheduled with you, but if you're too busy and mean...
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of Velma from the Pup Named Scooby-Doo series. That's cool. I mean, that was a good series, so it's fine. Daphne had the biggest personality change. I mean, she's the one that really brings off some random humor. I mean, she, for some reason, has a fascination with puppets out of nowhere.
My puppet of me's puppet of me has a puppet of me, and so on.
But I guess it's just for the one episode. But it's actually kind of funny, and to be honest, it puts a little more character to her, making her a bit of a crazy, weird girl. And she seems like the one that helps balance out the team whenever they start butting heads. So that's actually kind of a nice thing that they brought to the character.
Wait yourself, you're missing the whole point about this. I have goals too.
Well, I'm Velma. I trust books more than I trust my friends.
Look, I'm Fred. I put my friends in danger for clues.
I'm Shaggy. Wah. I'm hungry. Wah. I'm scared. Wah. I'm 2 years old. Wah.
I'm handing out puppets.
I'm Scooby-Doo. I'm sweet and loyal and the best friend in the world.
What? I'm the best friend in the world.
I'm the best friend.
I'm the best friend.
Yeah, you are the best friend.
No, you're the best friend.
No, clearly you're the best friend.
You're all wrong.
We're all best friends.
Fred is still the leader type, not much different to him. Shaggy and Scooby are the same scaredy cats as always. But this time around, if they really don't want to do something, they will try their best to explain why they shouldn't do it or why they don't want to do it. And it's funny how they explain it.
Shaggy, Scooby, check out that tower.
You want us to go into that tower?
Yes?
Whoa. Let's be totally clear about this. You, Fred, want us, Shaggy and Scooby, to go in here, the spooky home of him, the evil ghost that wants to hurt us?
Well, I would probably word it differently, but...
So, like, what you're saying is the biggest cowards here, no offense, Scoob,
Keep it real.
should walk right into this tower where this ghost is waiting to do this to us?
Why? Why, Fred? Why?
You could have gone and come back by now.
We hired these actors to stage a reenactment.
I think we're done here.
We still getting paid?
It sort of reminds you of Phineas and Ferb and how they go about explaining different things. It works. It's actually nice and fun. This show is definitely different from the Mystery Incorporated version because it's not as serious. There's no big storyline following this, but it still works on its own. It holds up on its own. It's funny, it's nice, the characters are great, the comedy is nice.
There's only one place I'm sure I belong, with my friends.
Ah, yes, friends. I wish I had some of those.
I'm uncomfortable.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna knock this one. I really wanted to hate this, but I'll be honest, I truly can't. It's great. I like it.
Yes, very comforting.
If you're gonna hate it because it's not like this one adaptation of Scooby-Doo, then maybe you shouldn't be watching a lot of these adaptations at all, because then you're always gonna keep comparing it instead of seeing does it hold up on its own merit. To me, it's a great show. It's funny. It's less dramatic. The characters are great. Personalities are great. It's a worthy adaptation among all the others. But that's just a thought. You know, Over the Garden Wall is just such an amazing series. I mean, wow. How they did this was just so amazing. Just the look of it, the feel of it. It's just riddled with ambiance. And the funny thing is, it's from Cartoon Network.
Right?
The place that gave us Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, and all that. I mean, I couldn't tell you how much this was a surprise at how well made this series was. It knew how to balance a serious tone with its lighthearted humor, and that's just one of its many charms. Just the color palette alone is enough to kind of enthrall you in this world. It uses a lot of browns and oranges, but it uses it nicely. So as you're watching it, you feel like you're going through an experience. All the colors work to capture you in this mystical world. All of the events work to its advantage too. I mean, all the characters Wirt and Greg meet, they're all interesting. You just want to find out more about them. That's what's so amazing about the series, that it can give you characters, have an episode on them, and then you never see them again. And it just makes you want to know more about the world they're in. But it doesn't leave you feeling empty. It leaves at just the right note. 10 episodes was perfect for this series. It managed to take its time and end on such a perfect note that it being a mini-series, you're perfectly fine with that because it ends at just the right time. It doesn't linger on until you get tired of it. It's just simply 10 episodes. After that, you're done. And after you're done, you feel like you've just gone through an amazing experience. The characters Wirt and Greg are very memorable. Wirt is kind of your typical older brother type of guy, more trying to look out for his little brother, while at the same time trying to get out of where he is, out of the situation he's been placed in.
Greg, stop talking to a bush.
And it's understandable why he wants to get out of there. It's this weird, wacky, unknown place he's in, with many dangers everywhere.
Well, that settles it.
Greg is your typical happy little kid. You know, he's weird, he's funny, he's very likable among the two.
To Adelaide, to Adelaide. Come on and join the Adelaide parade.
No.
Beatrice is very cynical towards the two brothers, but she does grow to like them and even try to protect them from this mysterious world.
They seem nice enough.
Okay, you're in denial, that's fine. But I'm just saying, something feels off about this place.
Her attitude towards everything can be very nice. It's funny because, to be honest, you understand why she's a little angry towards everything.
The world is a miserable place, Greg. Life isn't fun.
The Beast. Ooh, now that is a villain that really creeps me out. Just lurking in the shadows, his voice can be unsettling as well. And to be honest, that makes him such a really fascinating character. You kind of wonder, what's his backstory? What's going on with him? I mean, once you find out everything about him, it's still very interesting, to say the least. All the people they come across are just very interesting. You just get sucked into this world. You get sucked into the whole situation Wirt and Greg are in.
Though I am lost, my wounded heart resides back home, in pieces strewn about the graveyard of my lost love.
Led through the mist by the milk light of moon, all that was lost is revealed. Our long bygone burdens, mere echoes of the spring. But where have we come, and where shall we end? If dreams can't come true, then why not pretend? How the gentle wind beckons through the leaves as autumn colors fall.
Over the Garden Wall is such a masterpiece of a series. It was short, but for such a great reason. After watching it, I can honestly say I don't want more new episodes to come out. It left on just the perfect note. Any more episodes would just ruin the entire thing. It is a masterpiece among other animated shows, and one that we will never forget. But that's just a thought.
And over the garden wall to
And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Harvey Beaks. You know, Harvey Beaks is a pretty good animated show. Yeah! Especially for Nickelodeon. I mean, let's face it, they kinda died.
Oh, right.
But Harvey Beaks is sort of a diamond in the rough. I mean, a major rough. I mean, when you got shows like The Thundermans or Henry Danger, it's like, ugh. Or Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket. Ugh. Harvey Beaks is actually pretty good. I'll admit, the feel and tone of the show, it sort of feels like it should be on Cartoon Network instead of Nickelodeon. But, what can you do? At least it's a good show. I really can say that. The show mainly has like a very childlike tone to it, and why shouldn't it? It mainly focuses around kids, so it feels nice. It's kind of down to earth, not full on down to earth. They're talking animals, for goodness sake, but it, feels a little chill here and there. The main character, Harvey, he's a nice kid, pretty much he's a goody two-shoes, doesn't like breaking the rules, has a major naivete about everything going on. But he's nice enough, he's innocent, nothing truly wrong with him, he's cool. I'll admit the design is a little weird. I mean, he's supposed to be a bird, but that doesn't ruin his character. He's nice, he's innocent, he's a fine character, he's cool.
Hey, Dad. Mom said you were having a tough time in here, so I pranked you.
Wait, I don't understand. You made me a sandwich?
Yeah, you got pranked. Ha-ha!
Did you do something weird to it?
Nope, just a regular peanut butter sandwich for my dad. So, do you feel better?
Fee and Foo are the crazy characters. They're brother and sister, and if I'm correct, they're gremlins. So, it's understandable why they're, very crazy. Foo's pretty much that character who's just energetic, doesn't really have much of a care in the world, just has fun as he goes along, and that's fine, he's a kid, he should have fun and enjoy himself, so that's fine.
I have a question. Why is Foo wearing a sweater on his head?
It's slimming.
I like Fee, she's more in control of things, but that doesn't mean she can't, go over the top as well. She is just as well as carefree as Foo, but knows how to prioritize sometimes when things get a little rough.
That's so sweet. Sorry, dude.
I'll admit I really like her design, only because of the big hair. I am a big fan of characters with big hair. Granted, you can have big hair and it can still look stupid, depending on how you design it. But the way they design her hair looks nice. Harvey's parents are actually pretty cool. I mean, it's nice that they switched up the dynamic. With this one, it's Harvey's father is more of a stay-at-home dad, and Harvey's mother is the one that does the work. And that's cool, actually. It's pretty different than what you see normally. Their attitude towards everything that usually goes on around them is pretty cool too. And I like how they treat Fee and Foo as their second and third child. That dynamic is pretty welcoming, and I personally like how they set that up.
Let me explain. I've been working on a dance routine, and I want to perform it tonight at a club.
And you don't want old mom and dad embarrassing you. We get it.
No, that's not it. Well, I guess that is it.
Sure thing, son. Go crazy.
The side characters are also pretty nice. This one character, Dave, who I will admit, I feel like something else is going on with him. If they go that route, good for them, but whatever.
I hate every one of you. I'm gonna kiss everyone in this room. Where's Harvey?
He's a nice enough character. You kind of understand why he's clingy towards Harvey, because he has so many siblings that he has to deal with, and Harvey's just kind of that one friend he can have to himself, so you understand his jealousy towards Fee and Foo.
Just you and me together, like it is every year. Our own special day. Harvey, you scamp. I can't tell you what I'm gonna wear. You'll have to find out what everybody else does. Get out of my room! Get out! Get out!
It's not out of nowhere. It's not distasteful. He's not a disrespectful guy. He's cool. One character that really cracks me up is Randall's mother. I mean, just whenever she talks about her son, it's just funny, because every time she's basically just cooking him. It's just so funny.
You know, when you were born...
Oh, here we go.
You were terribly misshapen, and the nurses thought you were an old grapefruit. Randall, you smell terrible. Let me hold you down for once. Randall, I showed your journal to Barbara. She says it's very sad.
All in all, I really like this show. Its tone is very nice. The animation is really good. And sometimes it could take itself a little slow, but sometimes they can go over the top as well with some weird, crude humor.
I'll be done in a minute.
But overall, it's a very nice show. The characters are great, the tone is great, the animation, great, the feel, great. Just all around a great show, and possibly a good step in the right direction for Nickelodeon. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, the Lion Guard Return of the Roar. You know, I really can't get into the Lion Guard. I mean, this is definitely a show more for little kids, not full-on preschoolers, but definitely more younger audience. It's not downright horrible, but it's definitely just not something for fans of the original Lion King movie. The humor's meh, it doesn't get a big laugh from me. The authentic feel of it is kind of gone. Like, the songs they have don't really feel African, you know?
It's a good day to have some fun, to run and play. The sun's so hot it melts my worries all away.
The originals, their songs were a lot better. I mean, hell, they had Elton John. But here, they don't feel like you don't feel like you're in the African savannah. That's what I should say. Most of it feels like imitation African music, and it does nothing for me. Songs are just very meh. Little kids might like it, but if you are a major fan of the original songs, you're not gonna like these songs. This one sort of ignores canon by basically ignoring the second Lion King movie. Now, yeah, that's not a very good movie, I'll admit. It's not downright terrible, but it's not very good. I mean, you introduced other lions and made it seem like they were part of the original movie, even though they were never there in the first place. So, yeah, you already can see a problem there. But here, they decide to basically ignore the second movie and decide we're gonna give Kiara a brother, and he was never in the second movie at all. So you see a problem there. Like, why are you deciding now she just gets a brother? I mean, you're just gonna ignore the second movie? What the hell? And the thing is, she's about at least like a year or two younger than her. So it takes place mainly like when Kiara's a kid. And that still makes no sense because The Lion King 2 also took place when she was a kid and also into when she was a grown adult. So yeah, it doesn't hold up. Like, where does Keon come from?
Hey, Kabisa.
The side characters, they're okay. It's mainly this one character that shows up throughout the whole thing called Bunga, and there's ignoring canon here because somehow Timon and Pumbaa are this kid's uncles, and it's like, wait, in Lion King 2, Timon and Pumbaa were Kiara's uncles. How do they just magically become this kid's uncle? Like, where's this coming from?
Say what?
The character Bunga is fine. He's a honey badger who's, very enthusiastic. They call him the bravest out of everyone. And he's okay. Nothing horribly wrong with him, but
Come on, Bunga. You're the bravest animal I know. I want you to be the first to join the new Lion Guard.
There's another character named Zuli, who's a cheetah, who's supposed to be the fastest out of all her friends and whatnot. And, I mean, there's not much to her. She has a little bit of pride to herself, but not much to go off of.
Figures.
There's a hippo named Beshti, if I'm pronouncing that right, who, again, not much going off of him. Like, he's kind of introduced at the end, just sort of like Zuli. There's not much going for him. He's just sort of a character that ends up being part of this whole Lion Guard business.
I don't get it.
There's another character named Ono who's a cattle egret, if I'm getting that right. He's supposed to be the one with the major keen sense. He's a bird, so he should be able to get an overhead view and scope out the area and whatnot. Again, there's not much going off of him. They really don't explore a lot of these characters. It's mainly just Keon and Bunga that get the most screen time.
I guess.
The whole business with the Lion Guard thing it's okay, but how they go about explaining the origins is still kind of dumb.
When your grandfather Mufasa was about your age, his younger brother Scar was the leader of the Lion Guard. Scar also had the gift of the roar. The roar made Scar feel powerful. But that power went to Scar's head. He began to think that he should be king instead of his older brother Mufasa. So Scar ordered the Lion Guard to help him take down Mufasa. When the guard refused, Scar was furious. And then Scar used the roar to destroy the Lion Guard. What Scar didn't realize was that by using the roar for evil, he would lose the power of the roar completely.
They mainly go about talking about it as like it's supposed to be part of the original canon, but the thing is, you could omit it from the canon and it wouldn't hurt it in any way, shape, or form. Hell, it doesn't even help it. They say Scar was the original leader of the Lion Guard, but the power went to his head and now he decided he needs to be king. And it's like, why not leave it at Scar was just very jealous of his brother? Like, that's perfectly fine. We could easily live with that. There's no reason to have to put a bigger motivation to Scar wanting to become king. There really was no reason for that. It doesn't help this story at all.
Kabisa.
One thing it does a little better than The Lion King 2 is it uses hyenas instead of just random lions that were just never there in the first place. They're new hyenas, so it could feel a little weird. They decided not to use the original hyenas from the first one, Shinzi, Banzi, and Ed. So it's, I mean, if you were that attached to those characters, you're probably not gonna like the new guys. There's not much new to this character or his friends. Their thing is just spread chaos for the hell of it.
Chandra and his clan will keep going until the whole herd is dead.
They try to have their own catchphrases with this Zukazama. It's mainly said by the character Bunga. It gets grating.
Zukazama! 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 Zukazama!
I'll admit the song for it can be a little catchy, mainly just the chorus, but other than that, it gets annoying real fast when he keeps saying it. Another problem is they keep mentioning the Circle of Life. Now, I mean, the first movie mentioned the Circle of Life. Hell, the first freaking song in the first movie was called The Circle of Life. It was about the Circle of Life and all that. But here, they just use it religiously. Like, it gets annoying to the point it's like, shut up about it already, please. It just becomes a little grating.
The Circle of Life.
The Circle of Life.
Circle of Life?
The Circle of Life?
One other problem I also have is the magic. I mean, really, before in the first one, the magic was more natural. It, felt like it needed to be there. It wasn't interfering or anything like that. Here they do this type of spiritual crap where it's like this mighty roar which has the generations of previous lions and whatnot that help you to scare off people. It's like, really? Like, why? We were fine with Mufasa coming down and giving a little bit of wisdom and insight to Simba. That was perfectly fine. You did well there. But here it's like, oh my god, you're basically giving the kid superpowers of some sort. I mean, not big time superpowers, but superpowers of some sort.
No! Let him...
At least in the first one, the magic felt like it was nature. It didn't feel like it was out of place. It didn't feel like it was interfering, Other parts of the humor can be stupid. Sometimes they'll go a little dumb with fart jokes. Hell, a fart ends up saving the day. So that's annoying.
Scram, ya goofy gazelles! Take this!
All in all, this is a series that's okay, but it's definitely not meant for people like me. People who grew up on the original Lion King, who love the original Lion King. It is not for us in any way, shape, or form. It is meant for very little kids. If you want to watch it, go ahead, but don't expect much substance to come from this. It's not meant for us. Hell, it's gonna be on Disney Junior of all things. They just put it on Disney Channel just to preview it the one time, hoping to get original fans to watch. But yeah, you're not gonna get any original fans here. It's meant for the younger audience. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, long live the Royals. Long live the Royals is pretty good. I mean, it's a nice mini-series, but I have to be honest, it doesn't compare to previous Cartoon Network mini-series. It in no way beats Over the Garden Wall. Hell, it doesn't even beat Adventure Time Stakes miniseries. And I mean, I'll be honest, a quick little thing on that is I don't like how it ended with everything just going back the way it was. It's like, come on, we need a little bit of change here and there, but whatever. It's just that there's nothing really to this series. It's not bad. It's good. It's funny. I like the characters just fine, but there's just not much to it. It's just a 4-episode miniseries. And the thing is, there's no narrative. There's no big storyline or big plot to have to pay attention to. It's just this royal family just kind of going through the motions of being a royal family with a little bit of modern day technology. I mean, it doesn't hurt it. The technology, even then, it's not the most advanced stuff. You don't see someone with a full-on iPhone or whatnot. The most you see is like a phone or a laptop. That's okay. The main characters are pretty cool. I like the king. He has this nice energy about him, and he's not an evil tyrant. He's likable, very likable. While he may have a bit of a I know what's best type of mentality, he's able to learn his lesson. He's not full on conservative, everything must be this way and that way. He's flexible on a lot of stuff, and he's actually pretty fun. So, yeah.
Let the festival begin! That was a good speech.
The queen, if anything, is probably the more conservative type. She seems more reserved on how things should be, and it's one of those, if it's my way or the highway, if you don't do what I say, then off with your head. Granted, they don't do that here, but you kind of get that idea from her.
Oh, Rufus, I should have never let you build that balcony.
Their kids are alright. There's nothing terrible about them. The character Peter, their eldest son, he's nice. He's kind of a goofball. He'll mess up and, he learns a lesson. And it's okay. Nothing wrong with him. He's just kind of your simple goofball character. He doesn't really fall into those traps of like, oh, my father, my mother, and them don't understand me. Well, he sort of falls into it, but even then it's a small resolve, and they don't linger on it enough, so it doesn't get annoying or very cliche-ish. So he's cool.
It appears he's completing a placemat maze puzzle alone.
Yeah, I finished 15 mazes. I even helped the lion find some steak and eggs.
I kind of like the character Rosalind a little. She's kind of your typical teenager, she'd rather be hanging out with her friends, doing this and that, not really focusing on whatnot. She even kind of falls in line of the whole, I want to sneak out to go hang with my friends or do something that involves my friends, and it's not terrible. It's fine.
Rosalind hurling sabers in the servants' quarters.
I only missed twice.
The character Alex, there's not much going off of him. He's kind of your simple, typical kid character who's just kind of crazy. I mean, there's not much going off of him. He's just a kid character who's just very crazy. We don't really get much interaction from him. So,
What's the matter, Peter? Don't have any friends? You're just like that single old boot.
One thing, though, I do have to say is it definitely feels like regular show. Granted, it's from a guy who worked on regular show, Sean Zales or so. If I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably butchered his name. He was like the supervising producer for regular show, and the humor, it's very similar to regular show. I mean, that doesn't make it bad, I like regular show, but it's a bit distinguishable. But another thing is also the way the episodes end, it feels a bit like that's sort of how I see regular show ending it. Ending like whatever problem they had, They, of course they saved the day, fixed the problems and all that, but I kind of see regular show. But that's just kind of a minor problem with it. The way the last episode ends is kind of weird because it's kind of hey, we might be back. And I'm like, okay, that's good, but why were you selling yourself as a mini-series? You know? Like, the last episode sort of ends with there being somewhat of a start of a narrative, and it's like, well, what was the big point of these 4 episodes? I thought it was a mini-series. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I mean, if it means more episodes, like if Cartoon Network does choose to keep this show going, I'm okay with that. I like this show. It's good. I like the characters. They're good. All in all, this is a good show, but I mean, if you don't want to kind of see a bit of regular show's humor, then you may not like this. It definitely feels a lot more like regular show, but it's still a good show. The characters are nice, and the premise can be nice too, so there's nothing really bad about it, and the way it ends kind of makes it feel like there's gonna be some other type of story arc to it or so, and that makes me look a little forward to new episodes. So if they keep this show going, I would continue to watch. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. Today's subject, Miraculous, the tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. You know, I should say this, Miraculous is pretty good. I mean, I've been hearing so much hype about this show, so many fans have been posting a lot of fan art and whatnot, and I'm just like, what's this show all about? I mean, I'd heard of it before, but I didn't think it'd catch on as well as it did. It's kind of surprising. But after watching it, yeah, I can say it's pretty good. It's kind of weird about this show. I mean, it's not American, it's a French show. It's from France, but it's sort of a mixture between a Korean animation company and a Japanese animation company, Toei Animation, and a French company. It's kind of a mixture of so many different cultures, countries. Like, wow. But it turns out pretty good. The odd thing about this show is it originally was supposed to have a sort of anime style. It was supposed to be 2D animated instead of 3D, and the 2D actually looks nice. From what they showed beforehand in a trailer, it looks pretty nice. But after watching the first episode in 3D, I have to say, I like the 3D better. I feel like with the 2D anime style, it probably wasn't gonna get as many people on board. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure, would have just knocked it off as, oh, it's a kid anime, so, and they would have left it alone. Whereas with the 3D, you probably could pull in more American audiences and whatnot, versus just getting some anime fans. So, yeah, I think 3D was the better route. Hell, some of the things they do in 3D look pretty cool. I have to say that, like, looks pretty cool when they do certain action scenes. The thing about this show is it was already out in like Korea, but it was dubbed, and I'm like, I'm not really gonna watch this yet. I'll wait for it to get dubbed in English, then I'll pay attention to it. I like the setting. It takes place in France, so, you know, it makes sense. It's from a guy who's from France, so why not? And that's always cool to be in a different location versus what you're always used to. The guy who made it, Thomas Ostruck, probably butchered that name, he worked on previous shows like Code Lyoko and Totally Spies, and some of it kind of shows here. It's definitely a good resume. I mean, his style definitely comes out with this show. You kind of see it here.
This mailbox won't budge.
Ring the doorbell.
Are you kidding? What if Adrian answers the...
Yes?
Hi, I'm in Adrian's class and did I already say that?
Put it in the box.
The characters, they're pretty cool. I like them just fine. Marionette is the protagonist. She's Ladybug. That's her superhero alter ego. And she's a nice girl. She's, just like every average girl you've seen in a cartoon, or teenage girl you've seen in a cartoon. And that's fine. Her main thing is she's shy around this one boy she likes named Adrian. And onto him, he's actually Cat Noir. And it's kind of weird how that dynamic works. She's shy around Adrian.
I wanted to, gift you a make. I mean, gift you a gift I made.
But when she's Ladybug and around Cat Noir, it's just fine. She's still just as confident. If anything, she gains a little more confidence when she's Ladybug.
Looks like I made it just in time.
I had it under control. But thanks.
And it's kind of odd with Cat Noir. He doesn't really notice Marionette when he's Adrian. But he loves flirting with Ladybug. It's sort of a nice juxtaposition from their alter egos and whatnot. I like it. It's welcome.
Cataclysm!
Couldn't you have said that 500 feet ago?
We can't stay stuck in this bubble together forever.
The main villain, Hawkmoth, I don't want to say anything outright because we don't know exactly everything, but when I see him and then I see Adrian's father, I'm like, I wonder who Hawkmoth is.
Listen, young man. I decide what's best for my son. In fact, I've just decided you're a bad influence and you're not welcome in my house ever again. Leave now!
Adults ruin everything all the time.
Desperate to help his friend, but feeling powerless. How frustrating. It won't be long before frustration turns to anger.
But other than that, he's sort of like Queen Burrow from Sailor Moon. Messes with everyday life and everyday things and changes them, or like Rita Repulsa. In fact, Miraculous actually takes a lot of influence from Sailor Moon. That's probably why it's so popular. It has that magical girl element. I mean, that's not bad. That's nice. We're getting more back into that. Hell, Star vs. the Forces of Evil is sort of like that. But Ladybug and Cat Noir's powers, they mainly come from these things called Miraculouses. And the way they work is they basically fuse with their host or whatnot for a short period of time, though, until they either get hungry or tired. And then they gotta fuel back up or rest before they can get back into action. So Ladybug's and Cat Noir's powers only last a couple of minutes or whatnot.
Marinette! It was an emergency.
Yeah, if by emergency you mean jealousy. You know what happens once you use your lucky charm. You only have minutes before...
I turn back, I know.
And that sort of does add a bit of a dynamic. Now it's like it's always a race to beat the person they're fighting. They can't just stay and super powered up and just automatically win the day. They have to, actually think about it. They got to keep on their toes. And that's nice. That's a nice dynamic. They sort of go that typical route that most teenage superhero shows go, where you have the protagonist who has a friend, and their friend doesn't know about their secret identity, and it's like, okay. Now, Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja, actually went against this, and to be honest, it's not the first. Static Shock did this too, where they just outright told them their secret identity. But here it's more the cliched route. I won't tell my friend because this, it's like I can't let them get involved in what's going on. And it's like, it's better if you just tell them, so that way there's not this crappy misunderstanding that ends up that makes the protagonist and their friend have a fallout, and you know by the end of it they'll be back together. They're gonna forgive each other. It's like, The main villain, Hawkmoth, he's sort of like your typical villain and whatnot. There's not much going off of him. He has this thing called akumatizing, where he basically sends out these little butterflies that turn people evil, mainly revealing their major desires and, amping them up so they'll want to do bad things. And
fly away, my little Akuma, and evilize him. Hawkmoth is my name, and Bubbler is now yours. I will help you with these horrid adults, and all you have to do in return is help me get something from Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Yes, Hawkmoth.
That's okay. I mean, it's just I've seen that in other forms. I've seen that in either Power Rangers or Sailor Moon. All in all, this is a good show. It's nice, and I'm probably gonna stick with it, find out what's going on, because there's probably more to this show than meets the eye. So yeah, I'll probably stick around and keep watching this. It's nice enough to keep paying attention to. It's definitely a show you'll want to keep a little bit of interest in as it keeps going on. But that's just a thought. And now, a thought from Mann. I can honestly say 2015 was a really good year in animation, especially in TV shows. This year had really good cartoons coming from Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and hell, even Nickelodeon. But I really want to look at what were some of the best animated TV shows of 2015. So that's what I'm going to look at now. This is the top 5 best animated TV shows of 2015. Number 5. Wabbit, a Looney Tunes production. Now, when I first heard of this show, I'll admit I was actually intrigued because I heard it was going back to the short formats and one-off adventures of Looney Tunes. So I did have some high expectations for this. I really wanted to see, could they return the Looney Tunes back to their original formula? And they did. It's pretty good. It's got the nice slapstick. It's great one-off adventures. They introduced some new villains. It's good. I like this. It's a very nice return to form for the Looney Tunes. But I can admit I'm a little bit disappointed that there aren't that many Looney Tunes. The main thing is it's more about Bugs Bunny. We haven't seen Daphne, we don't see Porky, we don't see Elmer even, oddly enough. But the initial cast that they do have, mainly Wile E. Coyote and Yosemite Sam, that's still a good obstacle for Bugs to overcome. So yeah, this is a good show and I really like this, and this is my number 5.
That'll do. Now that's how it's done.
Number 4. Be Cool, Scooby-Doo. Now, I'll be honest, I really had some low expectations for this show. The redesigns just turned me off. The name was enough to turn me off. But I decided, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see just how bad it is. And after watching it, I have to say, this is one of the better Scooby-Doo incarnations in recent years. It's just really funny. It's enjoyable. I like what they do with the characters now. They have more split personalities, and they're a lot more different from what you've seen. This one tries a lot harder at trying to be funny. Now, I originally liked Mystery Incorporated. I thought that was the best one, and to be honest, I still do kind of think that one is the better one, but this one's a really good incarnation for Scooby-Doo. It's very fun. It's funny. Hell, they managed to get me to laugh at one of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo's eating montages.
Finally, you golden molded tasty teas. You're everything that everyone wants. We're eating cheese.
I never laugh at those. I just think, oh great, Scooby and Shaggy eating, whatever. But here, they literally build it up for the whole episode, and when it happens, I'm laughing. I get a legit laugh from it. Anyone that can make me laugh at that, you're doing something right. And that's why that is my number 4.
You're in my house now, son.
Number 3. Harvey Beaks. I tell you now, I had minor expectations for this show. When I first heard about it, when it was called Bad Seeds, I thought, looks like some thing Nickelodeon's gonna have, whatever. It didn't look that interesting. But when I watched it, it was good. I really liked the childlike nature of it. It was more down to earth. Even though it has a weird fantasy element to it, it still feels more down to earth. And I really like how the characters are. I like how the kids interact with each other. They actually act like kids. And I'm like, yes, that is how you should do it.
That jerk Bartlebert turned me into this. I understand if you don't want to hang around me no more. Me being a scary ghost and all.
I don't think you're scary.
Yeah, not any more than usual. Aren't you afraid I'll eat your face and poop it in the woods?
Do you feel like eating my face?
No, not really.
They're not just kids trying to be adults. They feel and act like actual kids. I like how Harvey is. He's definitely a flawed character. He makes mistakes mainly trying to do the right thing. He's always a goody two-shoes. But the lesson here is sometimes it's okay to be a little bad here and there. It's okay to do some bad. And that's... you don't see that in a lot of kids shows. Most of the time they'll have a character who's just really bad but wants to be good. Here it's flipped on its head. It's a good character trying to do good but ends up doing bad. And that works just fine. I really like that dynamic. And that's why this is my number 3.
That's brilliant! Yeah!
Number 2. Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Now this was a tough call, but when you see my number 1, you'll understand. I really like this show. I had so much hype for this show, and after watching it, it lived up to my hype and more. It really is a good show. I like what they do with it. I like a lot of the characters. I like the dynamic between Star and Marco. The whole thing of the show is it sort of pays homage to the whole magical girl anime genre.
Radiance Shadow Transform!
Whoa! Do me! Do me!
Radiance Shadow Transform!
And that's always nice. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fun. One gripe I might have is I just don't find myself laughing as much as I wish I could. Even though the characters are nice and silly, I love Star's hyperactivity. I really do. But I admit I don't find myself laughing too much at it. It's definitely a funny show and I do laugh at it. It's just not as much as I want to laugh at it. But for what it does do right, it does right. And I really like this show. And that's why this is my number 2.
Really? Hugs!
And now, honorable mentions. We Bare Bears. Now, if I had a top 10 list, I definitely would have put this on there. It would have had a number 6 spot. But sadly, there weren't that many animated TV shows, so I couldn't really make a top 10 list. I could only go for a 5. And Wabbit beat this out. It's a good show, but it definitely dates itself by being a part of modern times and all that. And the main premise is usually the bears going against hipsters in San Francisco. So, yeah, it's definitely not something everyone would enjoy. Miraculous Ladybug. I like this show, but it didn't come to America until December, so I can't really put this on the list. I do like this show, I do think it's good, but it does kind of fall into the category of your typical teenage superhero TV show. So, yeah, I wouldn't put this on a top 5 list. Maybe it would have made it if it was a top 10 list. And the number 1 best animated TV show of 2015 is Penn Zero Part-Time Hero.
I've dreamed of this ever since I was 6 years old.
I really mean that. This is the best show. The characters are great, the situations are great, everything they do about this show is just great. And that's the thing, this show, no one really had much hype for it. When we saw it, we thought, looks okay, looks like a typical Disney show that we'll probably tune into if it's on, or just won't change the channel on. But it exceeded my expectations. It did everything right. The characters are memorable. The situations they go through. A lot of them end up being parodies, but they still create great characters. They don't feel like they're just making a cheap pun of a popular thing. They'll make fun of a whole genre. Make a whole world based on a movie genre or a TV show genre. And that's just what's so great about this show. If you don't watch these certain genres or certain films or movies, it still holds up on its own. You don't have to watch those certain things to get the joke. If you don't get the joke, you don't get the joke, but there are other jokes that are still very good that you wouldn't need to know any other type of source material. It just works so well. Penn and his friends are just great characters. They're well written. They have their own personalities. They have their own flaws. And they work well off each other. Ripon is such a great villain. And Larry, I mean, come on. You cannot hate Larry. The way they wrote this guy, you cannot hate him.
The nerve of that boy lecturing me. We are 2 in sync. I always anticipate your moves. Who's that elephant can't fly? Catch me! Oh, Larry, what are you doing? Yes, I'm the head! What are you, the chest? Huh? With the leg? Where?
Let's not talk about it, okay? And stop scratching my face.
All in all, this is just such a great show. It was a sleeper hit. It was a show we didn't think too much of. We heard of it, but we didn't think it was really gonna be that good. But when we saw it and it premiered, it blew out our expectations. And that is why this is the best animated show of 2015. But that's just a thought.